Brett Favre tells Patrick Mahomes to be careful. Well, why did this happen? Well, Brett Favre, when he played, suffered a lot of concussions. He played 321 straight games consecutively. Never came off the field. He probably was concussed in about 70 of those games. And he was just going. He just went. If he could play, he would play. His father instilled that in him when he was a young kid to when he was done high school, that if you can walk off the field, you're fine. If you can crawl off the field, you are fine. If you can't move, then I'll come and get you. That was it. There was no such thing as, oh, well, I'm going to go make sure you're okay. I'm going to do the finger to eye test where watch where my finger goes. That's not who he was. There's actually a good story that Brett Favre tells about his father. Brett was on the football team, and I believe in college, or maybe it was in high school, I don't remember exactly. But he said he got into a car accident, and they had to remove parts of his intestines. And the doctors were saying, you shouldn't really get out of bed for like 2-3 weeks. His father looked at him, and said, he'll be good in 3 days, which was the next game. In 3 days. So he lost like 40 pounds because they had to take all the intestines out. So he went and played after just getting surgery. That's how tough his dad. That's how tough Brett Favre's dad was. So what Brett Favre says to be careful, because now Brett Favre is 51 and he suffers from memory loss. He's like, I don't know what's tomorrow going to bring me. I don't even know if I'm going to know my name, my wife's name, my kids' names. I'm not even going to know if I have to go to the grocery store or not. And remember where I'm supposed to go. That's terrifying. Like, obviously we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. No one knows. But to be able to go and say, I don't even know if I'm going to know my name tomorrow, because that's how many concussions I've had. It's dangerous, and that's where CTE comes into play. Because if Brett Favre said he suffered probably over the course of his life, probably 1,000 concussions in his life, which is a lot. But he tells Patrick Mahomes to be careful, because Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion, he looked concussed. He couldn't get up on his own. Yet, the Chiefs still say he's going to play. They said he practiced limited on Wednesday, yet they said he had no symptoms. So that is dangerous, because Brett's like, don't rush it. You don't know exactly. Don't rush it. There's no reason to rush it. Just let it heal. Because if Brett Favre, who's gone through this potentially, knows what it is, I'm probably going to listen to him. Because what happened was, no one talks about this, Mahomes got injured earlier in the game. He injures his foot or his ankle. He goes into the tent. He comes out. He's on the bench, so that tells you he's okay. He may have banged it up or twisted it a little bit, but he's okay. He'll be fine. Yet they do a sprint or a speed option where he'll just run, and if he wants to run it in, he can. If he doesn't, he'll just flip it to the running back. That's all he's going to have to do. So what they do that's how they scored, I believe, their first touchdown. They do that again on a 3rd and 1, and Mahomes decides he's going to go for it. One of the Cleveland Browns defenders goes and tries to tackle him, basically just tries to grab him and just twist. Okay, just try to like throw him off to the side. That's all he was trying to do. But Mahomes ducked and bent down to try and burrow his way through, causing for the guys who probably grabbed him like at his ribs, maybe a hip, or to his chest, to grab him around his neck and kind of just fling over. And then what ended up happening was when Mahomes went down, his head crashed into the it ended up crashing into the ground. And he tries to get up on his own, but he's just all wobbly. And so he can't get up. So they're trying to drag him up, and like he's getting carried off by 2 guys. And I was starting to think, because I thought Patrick Mahomes was smaller than Dak, but I said, maybe it's because he's not as big as Dak. He can't be as violent as a runner. But I looked. No. They're about the same size. Dak's a little smaller, actually. But Dak is about the same weight. So either that tells you that Patrick Mahomes can suffer these injuries, probably because he's trying to do everything by himself. Because he knows how good he can be and how great he can be. Yet, he struggles in the department of health-wise. And it's not a helpful thing because obviously there's the regular concussion, but then there's the spinal concussions, which I talked about in my last video. I said, what ends up happening is your spine and your neck, it's all connected. Okay, it's connected from your brainstem to your tailbone is just a spine. And what happens is when your neck gets suppressed like that, the bones end up hitting each other and bouncing and creating almost creating a painful compression because your discs go out there. So colliding against the disc, creating pain and agony, and supposedly able to cause concussion-like symptoms. So maybe that's what happened to him. I don't know. But this happened to a guy named Sidney Crosby who plays for the Pittsburgh Penguins in the National Hockey League. And I think he either went into a board or he got hit. Something happened. Or maybe he hit ice. I don't know.